The Old Negro. During my readings of The New Negro by Alan Locke, I learned of a new perspective on how black people were seen during this time period. They were seen as a social burden, meant to kept down in his place or to be helped up, and were seen as a formula human being with little true social self or self-understanding. The new Negro emerged from a psychological pattern of imitation and implied inferiority, leading into a spiritual emancipation.
Okay, so Alan Locke describes the new Negro as someone that works with the group consciousness of other brown people, or as he calls it, dark peoples in the city within the city in his little article. He basically says that there needs to be a group conscious, and the new Negro needs to work together along with other brown people, which you see more prominently in the 21st century today, because if you look on Twitter, there's people of color, there's that whole acronym that doesn't just directly go straight to African American, it talks about all brown people. So there's this whole mentality that needs to go amongst brown people where we're working together so we're not being discriminated against, and like things like the plane accident doesn't occur again. There's other aspects where he says we need to reconnect with the roots and basically recapture contact with scattered peoples of African derivation. And basically he's just talking about going back to discuss our blackness with Africans, because originally we're all one peoples, we're all together. We need to reconnect with our roots. And that's another prominent thing in 21st century, because we consistently have that argument between African American and Africans, when in reality we all need to be working together because we're one people. And that goes back to all brown people working together. So I don't understand why there would be any type of disarray or disagreement between the two groups anyway. And then his final aspect is that we need to be recognized by white people. He says the new Negro has already made substantial contributions, but all of this needs to be recognized by the white people for the betterment of racial relationships. So in order to better racial relationships amongst all people across a worldwide internationalism type of view, we have to recognize the contributions the new Negro has made to society as well as 21st century, because there's a lot of issues in 21st century popular media where people forget that the black person made the stoplight, the black person did peanut butter, black person had so many different things that they contributed to society, and there's a lot of times where white people forget that. And if we allow them to forget that, we allow them to forget that black people have a purpose, black people have a reason, black people do things in society, and there's a purpose for us to be recognized and equal as everyone else. Whew.